New Gaming Order, thank you for coming to our little tornado of a PSA. We're just gonna have a little more time to speak on certain things and kind of go back to our jokingly ways. But I wanted to touch on Street Fighter V and some of the gameplay mechanics. You got a lot of people that were kind of being Grinches about it, and it's like, oh yeah, it's just more of the same. And you have to remember, just like first-person shooters like Doom, Fallout, and all that, you have a base, okay? And these games work with formulas, so it's kind of hard with where we are and how we progress in gaming. And Capcom showing off Street Fighter 4, or I'm sorry, 5. I gotta get used to that. At the conference, and a lot of people didn't have a lot of good things to say. So I wanted to open up with Shinwar, and we'll not spend too much time on it. But Shinwar, what are your thoughts on some of the naysayers for on Street Fighter 5?
Well, I mean, a couple people are, well, not couple, but people are comparing it to Street Fighter 4 speed-wise. I've been following it for the past couple days with Combo Fiend doing the Kumite and just going through a few of the characters. Yo, this game, I'm telling you, come next year, and I called it. I said Mortal Kombat's dropping, KI, and these games are good, but it is true they call Street Fighter the king of all fighters, no pun intended. When this sucker drop next year, it's something completely different, and you can already see, like, Daigo, Wong, the way we play 4 now, it's completely different. No FADC, and I was just reading as you were talking, Alex. Ultra David said we gotta start playing honest. Even though, yes, there's been crouch tech that has been found, most of that's probably going to be taken out. The OTGs from the earlier build are taken out, so people got to start playing honest. And none of that, oh, let me hold my meter. No, they want you to spend it. Do your V-trigger, do your critical arts. All that damage scaling out the window. The Capcom is changing a lot of stuff with this game, and it looks good. I'm hyped for it.
Okay. Now, Nelson, what are your thoughts? Anybody can chime in, and then we'll just, segue into another topic on it.
Of what I think about Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, and the gameplay mechanics.
All right, and I will stay to my guns, and I will say that the game still feels like Street Fighter Cross Tekken because of. No, the way how the engine is looking, the way how people are describing it, based on where Ultra David, based on the 3 days of streaming they've done as of recently, and what I came up with, it just feels slower slightly than Street Fighter 4. The hit stun is just as or more even than Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It basically gives the opponent more accessibility to actually do a combo instead of an actual struggle. Like, you have more of an open window to actually get your moves out. But again, Shinwar said with the whole honesty thing, they don't want you to just sit there and dance around with full Ultra meter or full EX or
like Mayweather.
Super. Well, I wouldn't say
Stupid.
that sense, but okay.
Yeah, I said it.
But I think the game will shape up if they take certain directions with the game, even though, again, people are complaining about how Birdie looks, even though I have no complaints. People are already starting to complain and started an online petition to reduce the jiggle effects of Chun-Li's breast on player 2 side and the jiggling of the ass of Cammy when she does her V-trigger.
Leave that alone.
Yeah,
She need that.
for real.
She need that. Like Shinwar said, she need that.
But again, they might be catering to a younger audience as well this time around. So that might be another reason why they might, draw back on that.
Okay. Now, with that, shifting gears, trying to 5 minutes per topic. Microsoft's backwards compatibility in comparison to Sony's PlayStation Now.
Let me get into this.
All right, go ahead.
I've been holding this in, and I actually was on the Facebook group, and I put my opinion out there, like straight up, just out of the gate. I'm more of a PlayStation guy. PlayStation showed me more games that I want to play than Xbox did. But I think that I think that Microsoft won that conference because of the backwards compatibility.
A lot of people said that.
A lot of people agree, but more people seem like they were like, well, why would you want to play old games on a new console? And, like downplaying backwards compatibility. This is my logic to this feature, is more so for the people that don't have Xbox One. These are still for the dude bros out there that don't have Xbox One, or parents that might be thinking about getting a new console for their kid. Yep. Imagine them going to GameStop, asking the representative, which console should I get? As it stands right now, what's going to be said is you can get this Xbox One for the same price as PS4 with the terabyte, and it plays some of your and it's backwards compatible. Not even, it's a little misleading because it's not all games, right. But the message is out there already. But I mean, even if they don't go full backwards compatible, I've seen Facebook like advertisement. They're advertising this as backwards compatible, and the average person is not gonna know any better. And this is gonna be huge. This should be huge. I'm thinking it's gonna be huge if Xbox doesn't outsell PS4. In November, December, this holiday season period, they're not coming back because this feature. I'm telling you, because this feature alone and the holiday lineup that Xbox has, they should not lose the holiday season.
I have to agree.
They should not lose.
There should be no reason why Microsoft doesn't close the gap with Sony.
Exactly.
Because the first party alone, the backwards alone,
and that backwards compatibility, and as it stands right now, you can get a Xbox One either cheaper or you can get an Xbox One with double the hard drive space as PS4. There's no reason why they shouldn't win this holiday season. If they don't, I don't see them coming back. Period.
Okay. Now, Noop, you were saying? Go ahead.
They have a very strong chance of winning, number one, because a lot of the stuff they showed at E3, unlike Sony, we're going to get this year.
Halo, Tomb Raider.
That was the big thing for me. It was like, I'm going to get this stuff this year. Number two, y'all can't mess up the backwards compatibility like y'all did with Xbox 360. Shut up. Y'all gave us that crash list on 360. There's a voting thing out right now for Xbox One where you can vote on the games you want. They said 100 by holiday season. It has to be those top 100 games, like those popular titles like the Gears and the other things like that.
Right.
But another reason why it's very, very important, like you said with the parents, a lot of parents bought, like I knew a ton of people because I worked at GameStop. When the PS3 was backwards compatible, a lot of people bought a PS3 and were still playing the PS2 game. It's a good strategy to get the consoles in the house, and the parent can say, hey, well shoot, it gives the Xbox 360 catalog, it helps maintain its value.
Right. That gives you a reason to go to Xbox.
Yeah. And then the convenience of it, like the digital games that we have, as they get added to backwards compatibility, they automatically port over into your Xbox One queue, and they'll download for you, because I got 2 of them already. And I was like, that's what's up. So they make it like an easy transition. You can use the disc, and like they said, we're not going to make you pay for it.
What
and
you already own.
The funny thing about the people who say, oh, why you want to play old games? That's like saying, why do remasters? Why you want to buy a remaster? It's an old game. You can't say that. You can't give a borderline statement like that. But to agree with on your knees, I don't really give Microsoft that much credit for it, because it's something that I think moving forward, it should be a standard feature on consoles. Backwards compatibility needs to be a standard feature on all consoles, man. It's like that PlayStation Now thing, seriously.
It's a joke.
Seriously?
I mean, it was cool because it was the answer to backwards compatibility, but with Xbox doing this, and this is another thing too. Sony already confirmed that they're not even pursuing backwards compatibility. They're not even pursuing it. They need.
Honestly, let me cut in real quick. This is just, again, my opinion. I'm not trying to state any factual stuff, but with PlayStation Now and what they do in the store, technically they already have backwards compatibility, but they're making you pay for your backwards compatibility.
And that's what Microsoft took a shot at. And said, you don't have to pay for what you already own.
The difference that I see between these two is streaming versus actually owning the game. You're streaming on PlayStation now. You're not gonna want to play Killzone, for example, on a streaming, and if your internet can even support it.
And that's why you're paying for it, because it's on a server.
Well,
and it has
it's
to
night
be
and day.
Yeah.
Well,
it's night and day. It's not even close. Backwards compatibility is something that people, they say that this was the #1 requested feature for Xbox One, and they brought it. Well, that's why I think that they won.
All right, go ahead, Nelson.
There's a big downside too, though.
All right, but for the sake of time, I'm gonna give Nelson the floor for this, and then we're gonna move on.
But again, I just feel like they're doing this whole backwards compatibility thing on the Xbox One because they want all the people who still, I'm gonna say it, stuck on 360 because they think that their games are just better from the past. They don't see anything of like the future to God. It was like, oh, Killer Instinct, that's all you guys got. Oh, you got shitty Dead Rising 3. I'm still not impressed. I'm still gonna play my Street Fighter 4 and my Halo 3 and my Halo Reach on the 360. But doing this, you're not really changing anything, guys. I mean, I'm just being real. You're not changing anything because then you're still gonna migrate these people, right? You're still gonna make them buy your console, correct? But they're still gonna play your old fucking games. You don't have a market now to endorse new games. So what are you gonna do now? Now you gotta even try 10 times harder to win them over.
I
we're
disagree.
The market. We're the market.
No, but it makes no sense because, like, for me, if I just keep everyone stuck in the past, I should have never made a new console. If you guys are still just gonna play the 360 games, you don't even want the new product. You don't want the new shit.
I see where Nelson's coming from. Yeah. Like, you want them to move on.
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the reason why Microsoft even said the reason why they put the backwards compatibility out, because the 360 is getting phased out by this year. No more shipping, no more making. It's over. So that's the reason why this is happening.
And that's a good thing. That's a good thing because it'll force the developers to stop making 360 ports of MKX. You got freaking the next Call of Duty is gonna be on PlayStation 3 and freaking 360. Why? Focus on the new stuff. You know what I mean? But to have the back catalog, though, I mean, some people have some games, some wonderful games that they would like to play again.
But they doesn't mean 360. Then there's no point to just like sit around and be like, oh, I'm just gonna make the jump now because they just added.
But Nelson, Dan Matrick had that mindset and almost fucked Microsoft over with like, oh yeah, if you want to play backwards compatibility,
exactly.
keep 360.
I guarantee.
This is the most consumer friendly thing they could have did. This is gonna bring so many more people into it.
I guarantee any amount of money that people was just say and spammed that they wanted backwards compatibility, they ain't gonna fucking play all their goddamn backwards compatibility games anyways. They're probably gonna play it for like maybe 1-2 games tops.
Okay.
I guarantee it.
Now for the sake of time, I'm gonna switch the topic on this PSA. Now, Shenmue 3.
Oh yeah.
And Noop brought it up in the main podcast. Why is it that it needs a Kickstarter if it's only coming out on PlayStation 4 and PC? That doesn't make sense to me. If you boot up Yu Suzuki and did your thing, right? Why aren't you picking it up as a first-party game? You know what I mean? Why has to go through a Kickstarter? Maybe I'm wrong. Did Killer Instinct get a Kickstarter? Did Halo get a Kickstarter? No, I mean, that just, it's like, I don't know.
I think there was a reasoning for that, just to give a small little input. I think they did that specifically because they haven't really suggested what platform Shenmue 3 was going to go on. That's why they was trying to see if the company would pick it up, and he took a chance at the press conference to show it during the Sony side of things. Since that it was so amazingly within that hour, they raised almost $1.5 million. I mean, come on. Sony was like, it seems like a smart idea to take them now.
But then again, if it was on like a Nintendo or Microsoft, of course it wouldn't have really mattered where Yu Suzuki comes out and say, hey,
correct. But the fact is that when he did it specifically because he wanted to get it out, and he has good relationship with Sony. So it was just like a no-brainer that Sony was going to take on this idea and run with it.
Yeah, but if Sony really had faith in Shenmue, they should have picked it up and bought it out. You know what I mean? So, as much as, you know, most of you know, I am not a real big fan of Sony. As long as the game exists, I will play it. I will play Shenmue. We have to finish that story. You know? So.
And Alex, you have to get it for the PS4.
Didn't I just say?
Actually, no, he does not. He can get it for PC as well.
But to defend stupid. To defend Sony as well, are you willing to back a game, a franchise that hasn't put out a title in 14 years? Like, you gotta remember, those fans are 14 years older than they, you know, who are you trying to appeal to? Because now, honestly, they're gonna have to give you part 1 and part 2. I didn't play part 1 and part 2 because Dreamcast games in Philly, Dreamcast games are going like this. Like, it came out, if you didn't get it within the first couple weeks, go on, yo, or you paying $1.50 and I'm not paying that, yo.
And that's like when I was in Afghanistan, like, yo, if you didn't get the new PS4 or Xbox game at the PX within the first 2 weeks, you ain't getting it. That's it.
Yeah,
you know?
So it's like Sony had to take a chance. It's like, this is a 14-year-old franchise. Some people might, you know, the older guys are, yeah, y'all want it. I want it too. But now it's like, okay, are the younger kids going to get it? Because they've never heard of it. You know what I mean?
You're right. They would have to re-release 1 and 2. You're right.
But you know what? What they need to do is the same route that they're going with Gears of War, re-releasing the Ultimate Edition to get people hyped for Gears of War 4. You know what I mean? You don't just throw out. You don't just throw out this thing. You know?
That Gears of War beta. Yes.
Okay. Now that's going to be our next thing. Nelson, can you give us your impressions on the Gears of War beta that was, I have it queued up on my Xbox. I'm waiting to finish this podcast so I can play it.
God damn, that game is fucking good, yo. Oh
now,
my God.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna go on and say, you know, you see how Nelson's all giddy and, you know.
Yeah, he's out there with that.
What you don't know is he's changing his pants right now. You just can't see.
Yo, I'll give like a quick 30-second opinion on it. The game is definitely the version that we should have had eons ago. It's definitely the perfect PC.
It's better than the PC version?
It's going to be on par because it's coming up for the PC as well.
Oh.
But it rivals the PC. It kept the 1080p. It kept the 60 frames per second. They redone the entire fucking cinematics for the game. They put out all the maps from Gears 1, Gears 2, and Gears 3, and all the fucking characters. I am fucking sold, dude. I am fucking sold. Not only that, I had this one person. He said, "Oh, I can't play the game because I was so used to the lag." I said, "Sir, that was because you were used to 30 frames. There was no lag. It was just 30 frames. That's why." So you playing on 60, that means you just
But
suck
you see,
now.
frames will mess you up a little bit, though. Like, now that they got double the frame rate, you know, now it's like they're trailing. Yeah, their trailing for shots has to change a little bit.
It's better, but the only...
And I will say this.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead with you about it.
I was about to say, the only thing that you can't do in the beta is invite people to a game or party, so you have to play on your own.
Yeah.
It's all gravy. It's all gravy.
Yeah, I didn't know that they were gonna give you all the maps from 2 and 3.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
All of them.
But what I would like, and we're probably not gonna get it, but this is what I would like, and I think Master Chief should have did this. I would like to get all of the campaigns eventually, even if it's DLC. I would like to get it because we have a good build of part 1, the multiplayer, build it, now add on to it instead of try to smush it all together and then give it out. I would love to be able to get Gears 2 and Gears 3 campaigns later on, even if it's a year or two later as DLC. I think that'd be perfect.
But Noop, the thing is, now the backwards compatibility is reality. I don't think that's going to happen because why do they need to put the resources into doing that when you can just stick the game in there now? You know? I think that, you know, Gears of War 1 was the game that got it right.
Well,
you're breaking up.
Another thing that's good about backwards compatibility, I'm not going to call it long. Hello?
You're good now. You're good now. It cleared up. It cleared up. You're good.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
No, say I'm glad that now I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do cross chat with 360 if we're playing the same game, be in parties and stuff. That's another good feature. So I get my entire friends list back.
Okay. And then a last thing for my PSAs.
You can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
You're good. It's lagging. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, because I don't want the PSA to run too long, but Windows 10 integrating and the new UI for the X1. What are what are your thoughts for our Xbox One owners? I mean, now I heard that the new interface is going to talk to you. It's going to have a voice, and apparently that was a feature that was supposed to come out at launch, and it's just coming out now. You know what I mean? But that's one thing. But I do want to express a disappointment with E3. No footage of Quantum Break. I know that they weren't going to show it, but I at least something.
They showed it.
But they're gonna wait till
E3.
probably next year.
They showed it out of E3. You can go find the trailer on
Yo,
YouTube.
you know what?
Yeah, go ahead.
I read on Microsoft's website today. I was looking at something and it said Quantum Break was coming out this year.
No, it's not. I doubt it.
It's on their page. It's the Microsoft website. At the bottom of the page, I put a link to the new Game and Order page, and at the bottom of the page, it named like 5 games, and it said available 2015.
They need to update that. Yeah,
that's probably a placeholder. It's probably a placeholder.
A face holder. What?
Before we move too far off of Gears of War, Gears of War, I didn't hear what too many people said about Gears of War 4. Nobody talked about Gears of War 4.
Well, it's still early. It looks like this is the beginning of a new trilogy. It looks like a new protagonist and a female support character, or it might be the other way around. But Gears 4 looks like Gears. It's not much we can really say about it just yet, but we have to wait and see. So Nelson, your thoughts, or anybody can jump in.
You're talking about
Gears 4.
The Gears 4. I really don't have much to say on it because again, the trailer didn't really express much. You saw a big ass fucking tornado. They ran inside. They fought a new monster, and it cut short. There's really nothing to talk about it. I mean, of course, the game.
You think it's a prequel? Do you guys think it's a prequel? Do you think this is the next chapter?
It's a sequel.
It's a sequel.
It's a sequel.
Okay.
Really
Not only that, it looked like it had more of a survival horror flavor to it, because you saw how they were chasing that thing down, and then all those. It looked like some jacked up Brumac mixed with some new.
That's what I was thinking. It looked kind of like
I sent all y'all a message with that link I was talking about.
And that koala bear showed up.
Checking it now.
If you scroll to the bottom of that page and that link and read number 1, it says Quantum Break coming late 2015. All games sold separately.
Yeah,
so maybe
Halo
it is
Guardians,
a mistake.
Because
like all the other games
Forza
coming out.
6, Fable Legends, and Quantum Break. Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
Well, hey, because you would have expected Quantum Break to be shown at E3 to whet the appetites for the people who want that game. So that's if Microsoft intentionally withheld that game from E3, I think that was a mistake.
Well, again, I wanna just say this on record. They held back several games. They held back Metal Gear, and they had to show that on its own YouTube channel. Same thing with Quantum Break. They have a new E3 trailer. You can go check it out on YouTube. They did that intentionally because they had a time frame, and they threw out what they thought from their respective companies of what they needed to show. So you can still check out all the shit you didn't get. So. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. So that's all.
And like some of the other.
Yeah, go ahead.
Gonna feature them too. They say like Con and stuff. They're gonna feature some of those games at the new conferences coming up. So like they saved some presentations for the other conferences, so we won't be looking at conference coverage and seeing the same thing we saw at E3.
Okay, got it. Well, that's all I got. So Nelson, you can take lead if anything. We can bring this to a close.
What I want to do is because I felt like Chris. Yeah, I was about to say Chris had some stuff that he wanted to talk about, so I'm gonna let him go first, and we'll conclude it after that.
Well, I'll make it quick.
No, take your time. Take your time. It's fun.
I actually wanted to get Alex's reaction to this. I know I sent him the link. Alex, what do you think about Ryu being in Smash Brothers?
You know what?
Yes.
Ryu being in Smash Brothers, they already found an Infinite with him. if you do the regular Street Fighter inputs for his moves, he'll knock you off the stage, like some craziness. Like, I think that was interesting. I didn't think Ryu would be a good fit for that, but considering when you see him in application, he kind of reminds me of Little Mac getting into Smash Brothers. There's a way you can make it work.
Little Black.
I said, shut up. Oh. But yeah, Ryu being in Smash Brothers, that's that's exposure. Getting Ryu on the Nintendo console again is a smart move. And I guess that can actually help Nintendo because you got a lot of folks like, hey, Ryu's over there, let me go pick up that system. I think I don't think it'll cause any harm. Nelson, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I thought it was a good move on their part because Capcom needs the extra fucking money, for one. And two, originally Street Fighter was on the Nintendo. So what rightfully to bring back its roots, and they brought back the original Street Fighter 2 Turbo Ryu with the classic music, but they gave him a lot of applications from Street Fighter 4 and Third Strike. He has the mule kick, he has the focus. He has
the parry too.
Yeah, he has the parry. He has a regular fireball, the uppercut, the tatsu, and he has 2 supers, which some characters do not have in Smash. He has the Metsu
he's the only
Hadouken.
one. Yeah, he's the only one with 2.
Yeah, the Metsu Hadouken and the Metsu Shoryu he has.
Okay.
So they put a lot of effort to him. If I remember correctly, he's $6. Same with the other character, Lucas from Earthbound or Mother.
$6. Yeah.
$6. You can buy
for a character.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Because it's not that many. It's not that many characters because they had Lucas, Mewtwo, Roy, and Ryu.
But $6, Nelson. Really?
How much did we pay? How much did we pay with Street Fighter? Burger King. How much did we pay with Street Fighter? Do we have to keep bringing this up?
No, but I'm just saying for one character though, that's a lot.
Killer Instinct does it for $5. What the fuck difference does it make?
No, I got the bundles though.
No, but if you didn't, you buy them separately, it's $5. Ain't no fucking difference. Same thing with Mortal Kombat. Same fucking thing.
And there's a bundle
People
with
are gonna buy it.
Nintendo stuff too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, but does anybody have anything else they want to cover before we bring this to a close? Because we're actually done early today, which is great.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
I just want to make sure that if Chris has anything that you had missed, because you did mention that you wanted to talk about a little bit more of Bethesda or whatever.
No, I think we covered it for the most part. I watched little bits and pieces. Like I said, work's been killing me this week, so I didn't get to watch as much E3 coverage as I would have wanted. But yeah, I covered everything. I just had a few jokes, but I'll save those for next week.
Okay. So
I want to know what y'all think about Tomb Raider and Fallout coming on the same day. Do you guys think that's going to affect Tomb Raider at all? I think it will. I think it's a huge mistake.
I understand where you're coming from with that, but Tomb Raider, I don't think it's directly competing with Fallout.
They're two different games.
They're two different games.
Yeah, it's going to cater to 2 different fan appeals. It's not going to hurt its sales at all for neither game.
Yeah, it'll be a small hit because they are 2 major franchises on the same day, but that's a very small market. If people like both,
I mean, because it's
Slinky Jim. I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna hurt Tomb Raider at all.
Yeah, because it directly affected me because I was gonna get Tomb Raider and now I'm not gonna get Tomb Raider because I'm gonna get Fallout 4, and then I may get Tomb Raider later on. I may wait till it comes on PS4. I don't know now, but I was planning on buying Tomb Raider day one, and
I mean, it's a matter of preference.
I want to definitely get Fallout.
Yeah,
it's a matter of preference. Like
I said, I've never played a Fallout game. I've never played a Fallout game, but I have played the old Tomb Raider. So I mean, it is making me choose. But I'm thinking to myself, do I want to get this big, long, meaty RPG type game, or do I want to get Tomb Raider or wait for Tomb Raider? So it's like it affected me. So
I just say as a whole, I don't think it's gonna hurt Tomb Raider too much. You got a lot of games that get released on the same day, But I mean, it's all their own, But also make sure those of you who are getting Batman and Devil May Cry Tuesday, like Shinwar said, it'll be here. Been waiting, and this is the last one from Rocksteady, so give them your support. They can definitely use it.
All
right.
Now,
so Nelson, let's bring this to a close.
Hold on.
We're good.
The
also,
Shinwar.
Rainbow.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Are you gonna talk?
Oh, Rainbow Six Siege. Yo, I'm going.
I think it's the delay.
Six. Can you not hear me?
You're good.
Yeah, Nelson can hear you. Go
no,
ahead.
You're
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, Rainbow Six Siege. That came up on the radar. That's looking pretty good. Unbelievable. It's looking real good. I think the last one I played was on the 360, so I may get back into the series with this new one, Siege. That's it.
Now, you know what? Some of the situations in Rainbow Six look like some real like training that I used to do, like sticks training for the military. I was like, man, that looks serious, bro. Like they did some good stuff.
Okay, Noop, do you have anything?
So, what the heck? All right, so anybody else with anything else?
Did you hear that? You know, the new Ghost 6 is gonna come with Ghost 6 Vegas one.
Ghost Recon looks good.
Indeed, it does. And did the team go rogue?
Yeah,
Negative.
I heard what Noop said, but it's a delay. It's like a huge delay. What you said? Because you spoke and then you didn't move your mouth and then you spoke.
Yeah, it's probably like bandwidth or something at this point.
All right, so let me just finish up the fucking thing and we can.
Oh man,
lagging,
yeah, it's lagging.
All right, but for the people who can't hear me on stream, for the PSAs real quickly, if you guys haven't heard already, if you buy Killer Instinct for the PC, if you have already purchased it on the Xbox One, all the content will carries over instantaneously. You don't have to buy it all over again. You're good to go on that part. They're also doing that with Fallout 4. If you buy it on PC or, you know, on like consoles and stuff like that, you get to also mod the game. So for you modders out there that's on Steam or, you know, independent modders, you get to produce your content on the game. If you guys haven't heard about the controller, the Elite controller for the one, it's $150. If you got the money, get it. If not, don't give two fucks. Beta is coming up. Wow, and Alex is getting shown of the TC2000. If you guys haven't been aware of the Gears of War beta that's been out for since Tuesday, please get on that. Go to gearsofwar.com, sign up for the beta. Guys pre-ordered the Street Fighter V game. They're having a beta a week after EVO 2015. You get to try out their new game in action. And for every other piece of information, just go to newgamingorder.com. I'm done.
Alright, so thanks to the New Gaming Order staff. I know there's some folks noticeably missing, but we'll get you on the next show or different specials. Or actually, since we have so many staff members, we might add an extra podcast day, like maybe a Tuesday and Thursday, Team A and B, as you know, Nelson and Shinwar suggested. We're working on that. So with that, thank you for supporting. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to Black Dragon. I see you in the chat. You know, that's my buddy right there. And welcome, L Dragon. I can't say the rest of the name. I don't want to mess it up. But shout out to Full Screen, our partner,
L Dragon
for helping us out. And we. Oh, okay, Senpai.
Yeah, that's not that hard, Alex. Come on now.
Anyway, so with that, rate, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on newgamingorder.com and leave your comments below on the director's cut. So you know, some feedback and your thoughts on anything we might not have covered that might have had some importance to you. So with that, we'll see you next week, same time, same channel. Peace.